Here we go.
From Kirby a few minutes ago, give a colorful line. They need our help right now, not after the eggnog. I'm just wondering,
It's not wrong.
So the White House is sort of trying to amp up the pressure on congressional Republicans, it seems. Why do you think that's an effective strategy? And can you, given that you're saying that the Hill's not doing enough, can you talk about what the president himself is actually doing? We haven't seen him do much.
Look, as you know, the president has been in regular contact, regular touch, and he said this with congressional leaders from both sides, from the Republican and Democratic side of the leadership. I'm sorry?
Has he talked to the Speaker?
I'm not going to get into like specifically who he's called, but
Really?
but obviously congressional leaders, right, from the Republican side and also the Democratic side, both parties. And as you know, staff has also been on the Hill. Our staff has been also, his staff has been also on the Hill negotiating on his behalf. And they met on Tuesday. They met again on yesterday. And we believe it's going in a productive place. We believe it's heading in the right direction. We believe that that conversations, that fact that it's continuing, it's encouraging, and we're seeing progress. And that's because, obviously, of the president, we believe, continuing to certainly negotiate, have those conversations. And this is a president who knows how to negotiate.
Oh my God, that is funny!
We've seen him do it multiple times over the past almost 3 years in this administration, being able to negotiate across the aisle and working on legislation, making things happen on behalf of the American people. Look, it's going in the right way. We understand that we have to find a bipartisan compromise to get this done, and we're talking about the policy side of it and the funding side of it as we talk about the border in relation to the border. And so we're going to continue to have those conversations. It continues on the Senate side. You heard us talk about how, and the Speaker said this himself, how he's going to, they're going to go on vacation. They're going to go on vacation while the Senate side continues to work. And that's not delivering for the American people when you go on vacation and go on Christmas recess.
So you mentioned the president's negotiating. How is he a part of these negotiations? Is the White House now is he personally evaluating proposals?
So he's in regular touch with congressional leaders. Don't have any specifics. Not going to negotiate from here. Obviously, his staff has been on the Hill yesterday and the day before yesterday and Tuesday and yesterday, having those conversation on behalf of this president, negotiating on behalf of this president. And so that's where we are. It is going in the right direction, we believe, because those conversations continue, and that's what matters as we talk about the border security and moving forward with making sure we get the supplemental done.
And going in the right direction, does that mean that a deal gets done when?
I don't have a timeline on the deal. Obviously, we needed to get it done before the end of this year. That's our kind of our timeline here. But I don't have a specifics on if it's going to happen tomorrow, the next day. We just know it's going in the right direction. That's what matters. Okay, JJ.
On those Ukraine border deal negotiations, what is your message to those Democratic lawmakers and immigration activists who are worried that the White House is giving up too much in these negotiations?
So look, we've been in constant communication with Democrats and obviously the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. I know that they have put some concerns out there or been very clear about their thoughts. Don't have anything to read out on those conversations. Look, here's what the president believes. He believes we need to fix what's happening with the broken immigration system. He believes that needs to get done, that needs to get fixed, and he's willing to find a bipartisan compromise to get that done. And that's the direction and that's the path that we're taking to try to figure out how do we fix this broken immigration system, something that he has been really talking about since day one with his comprehensive immigration legislation that he put forth. And so that's the direction this conversation is going in. How do we find a bipartisan compromise to get this done as we talk about the policy and the funding as it relates to border security. Get it.
Thanks, Karine. I want to ask you about inflation. So you mentioned the price of eggs, milk, and gas are down over the past year, but what do you say to Americans who are looking at the month that President Biden came into office? Eggs are up 24%, milk is up 17%, all types of gas is up 37%, and the prices overall are up 17%.
So the president actually spoke to this not too long ago, I believe on Tuesday, actually, just a couple days ago, and he says we know there's more work to be done, right? And that things are still unaffordable. And so while the prices, as you just mentioned, of eggs and gas and milk and toys and TVs are down, especially in this time as we're headed into a holiday season, as we're in a holiday season, there's more work to be done. And that's important. And that's why we're fighting to lower insulin. That's why we talk about junk fees and how we can save Americans money, right? That's why we continue to talk about health insurance premiums. That's why the president's going to make an announcement about what we were able to do with one of the provisions that's in the Inflation Reduction Act that only Democrats voted for, not Republicans, in order for seniors to get rebates on their Medicare. So all of those things are truly important. And so that's why he's doing everything that he can to do that. And you have Republicans on the other side of the aisle, right, who are talking about cutting taxes for the wealthy, big corporations, right, who are talking about cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. So the president's going to continue to fight for the American people.
You liar!
Continue to make sure they have a little bit of breathing room. Is there more work to be done? Absolutely. But we have seen some prices go down in all of the products that I just listed. We have. There's still more work to be done, and we're going to continue to do that work.
But I want to ask you about
right,
the transition.
and that matters, right? It matters
But
that we're
since
not
President
in.
Biden
No,
came into
wait.
office, his
It
policies-
matters.
These matches say you're lying.
Let's not forget what has been happening almost 2 years now, right? Putin's war
That was a year into the president's
right, but that has
administration.
caused inflation. That has caused prices to go up, right? And so the president took action to make sure gas prices went down, which they have, right? And we're coming out of this pandemic. So all of those things have been part of where inflation is. But inflation is moderating. The president's going to continue to make sure that we lower cost and lower prices on those goods that you just listed out.
I want to ask you about the transition. The White House is asking today to speed up the transition to Force Electric, and one of the things they announced is the federal employees would take the train. It's 250 miles. There's a list of things. I'm wondering if the president is thinking about making the Beast electric.
So that's certainly a question for GSA and Service, Secret Service, obviously, but we are committed to boosting public and private access to electric vehicles, and today's announcement would save taxpayer dollars and help tackle the climate crisis. But as it relates to the Beast, that's something for GSA and Secret Service to speak to.
Members would take the train?
That again, I would refer you to GSA and also the Secret Service as it relates to the Beast and any other questions.
Lance